So, like always, we want to give honor to the Most High God, the great God that, sorry, the great God that keepeth covenants and mercies for them that love him and observe his commandments. And then to his Son, who is our King, our Prince, our Savior, our Apostle, our High Priest, whom the Most High used to reconcile us back to himself. So we thank God for his Son. And then everybody that's with us, elders, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, those online. As the scripture says, the partakers of the heavenly calling, we thank God for each and every one of you. And then those that have not been awakened to the truth, we ask that the Most High bestow a blessing upon them, that they receive mercy as we have, that they can come to this truth, all right, and do what thus saith the Lord. So we want to pray for them as well, okay? Like Brother Paul says, my desire that, Israel be saved, right? And that desire is still alive even to this day, right? We want brothers and sisters to be saved and to seek the Most High God with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength. Yeah. So we're gonna, we're gonna start right after our chapter reading. Okay. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. All right. We're doing chapter 8, but I just want to read the end of chapter 7. Kind of read into chapter 8. Okay. So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. We're going to go to the bottom, chapter 8. So remember what we've been dealing with, Wisdom of Solomon, we're dealing with what? Wisdom, okay? So wisdom has been the forefront. You are going to see that it's saying she, right? Not that it's, when we go deeper into it, we kind of notice kind of what this represents, who it should be representing, the real revelation behind it, dealing with Christ. However you're going to see it, that she, that possessive, showing that delicate, showing that men definitely should be desiring in this. So it's giving a lot of breakdown of how important wisdom is. All right. It's the principal thing. All right. Let's go chapter 7, and we are going to start at verse. We'll start at verse 25. We'll start at verse 25. I don't really got precepts, so if anybody got anything, you can bring it out. Okay. I'll probably bring out one thing at the end, depending how the time is. All right. But if you do have anything, you can bring it out. Okay. All right. Wisdom of Solomon. Okay. Let's get the end of chapter 7, starting at verse 25. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. We're gonna go to verse 25. Right.
So I'm here.
Oh, you want to read? Okay.
Yeah. But she is the breath of the power of God and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her.
All right. So we understand this. It's saying what? Talk about this wisdom. It's the breath of the power of God. Okay. So giving us imagery, like this whole thing been kind of doing, giving us imagery. That wisdom basically showing that it came forth from God, right? All right. So breath of the power of God. So we also see scriptures we're talking about the power of God, who represents the power of God, and also that wisdom as well. Okay. But nonetheless, we're going to stay here. It's a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. All right. So it's pure. It's coming from the Almighty. It's pure. It's undefiled, not tainted. Okay. Therefore, can no defile thing fall into her. All right. Nothing can go and tamper with it and mess it up. Wisdom is always going to be pure. Okay. So even when you got people, even we talk about the Bible and the scriptures, right? It's pure, it's holy. However, you can't taint it, right? You can try to pervert it and put your little twist on it, but the truth is the truth. Wisdom is wisdom. All you're doing is pervert yourself and pervert your mind. But the wisdom and the truth is still unspotted. Okay. So people try to, throw jabs at the word of God, this and that. And what about this? They're talking about individuals that's professing truth or pushing truth. Okay, you can taint them, they can go down, but truth and wisdom still lives. It's eternal, it's immortal. You can't destroy it. Okay, so this is why I think you can't do nothing against it. Okay, it's just the truth. Satan makes people think and try to comfort them, right? Since some people don't want to do the word of God, they want to sometimes feel comfortable because that truth convicts them. And instead of embracing that convicting and saying, you know what, let me change my life. Let me start actually doing what thus saith the Lord. Right? They say, you know what, I don't want to feel convicted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pervert that so my conscience get messed up so I don't feel convicted with the word of God. Right? And this is what people do. Right? It's not a far stretch from a wicked person and the righteous. It's just a decision. The righteous say, you know what? I know I'm wrong. I'm going to submit to this word of God to the best of my ability. And with all my strength and soul and mind, I'm going to put my life and dedicate it to doing what thus saith the Lord. The other person say, nope, I'm not doing it. And then, of course, once you go in there, it starts to grow. I'm not doing it to, you know what? It's stupid for people that do this. That thing ain't real. And it progresses, right? That's what sin does. It progresses. And this is what happens, beloved. And Satan get them so warped, okay? They get so warped that then they just start saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And they start to think, well, if I can destroy people that want to live righteous, that makes me better. Y'all see the thinking of this? Some people want to be mad and try to destroy you, right? If I condemn their light, turn their light off, that will make me right. That's their thinking. No. Turning somebody else's light off don't make your house shine. Mm-hmm. But this is what Satan got them doing. Because you do not want to submit to this. You want to do what you want to do. You just can't say, I just want to do this over here. I just don't want to submit. I know it's true, but I just want to do my own thing. Because that might sound crazy and you might get judged for that. So what you do is try to mess other people up. Okay? But you can't do that to the truth. Listen, if Brother Michael tomorrow, I wake up and God forbid, I just wake, I don't want to do this thing, Bible stuff and everything. Guess what? The truth is still undefiled.
That's right.
It don't do nothing. So you'll see some people work their whole life to try to tear down a man or a woman of God, thinking that helps them, that they have now conquered truth. No. At the end of the day, you are going to close your eyes. You're going to meet your maker. And he's going to judge you for the deeds done in your body, not on how you tried to quiet those that were trying to save you with this wisdom and this truth. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. Verse
26. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness.
Mm-hmm. And with that mirror, that reflection, all right, that image, right? Think of that image, use that image of God, right? This is what wisdom is, that reflection, all right? The brightness of the everlasting light, okay? So like I said, it's giving us, little clues that we can put these things together, but this is wisdom, all right? Let's keep going.
And being but one, she can do all things and remaining in herself. She maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls. She maketh them friends of God and prophets.
And this is why you have to have them. All right, you have to have wisdom. Wisdom can do all things, still remain itself. All right, it's in everything. All right, it possesses everything. It created all things. All right, in all ages entering into what? Holy souls. So we know this wisdom has a preference. It don't enter into anything. She maketh them friends of God. So what is that? Wisdom cleans up. It ain't going to stay in no malicious soul. It ain't going to stay in no soul that wants to do wicked and everything. But if you desire to serve the Most High, you repent and you're seeking to do good, wisdom can dwell with you. All right? Well, I ain't doing everything right. I'm struggling. Wisdom want to keep you fighting. All right. Don't get discouraged because you're struggling. Struggling means you still fighting. You still got life in this, right? So don't get discouraged because you're struggling with certain things. Keep the struggle. Keep pushing. All right. Don't give up. She making them friends of God because that's the end of wisdom. Wisdom stays and dwells that you can now get a new title. All right. You was of this world. You were polluted. You were a sinner. You were filthy. You were wicked. This is what we were. But it says what? Since we take on wisdom and have wisdom bring us up and nurture us, we can be friends of God, the highest title, and prophets. Okay. So you have to clean up and get the stuff so we can get this wisdom. And that's what makes you a prophet. That's what makes you a teacher. That's what makes you a child of God. Because you have this wisdom. Okay. Let's keep going.
Verse 28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom.
Read that again.
For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom.
That's the word. That ain't, I don't got no thoughts on that. I can't change it. I can't add to it. Can't take it away. If you want to be loved, you got to what? Dwell with wisdom. It has to sup with you. All right. It has to dine with you. Wisdom is not dwelling with you. Don't love you. That's the past, beloved. Okay. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to know wisdom. You don't got to be valedictorian and all that kind of stuff. It's a decision. Where are you submitting your life? Where are you telling your soul where you want to be guided? Okay. So this is wisdom. All right. God loveth none but them that dwelleth with wisdom. All right. Is wisdom dwelling with you, beloved? That's the question. Or is wisdom just a friend you want to, talk to on Sabbath? Okay. In class. Does wisdom dwell with you? Does it talk to you? Right? When you're laying down, ready to go to sleep, do you talk to wisdom? When you wake up, do you think about wisdom? Okay. Verse 29 and 30.
But she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the orders of stars, being compared with the light. She is found before it.
So this is how beautiful, how attractive this is. Everybody can see the sun, right? How big this earth is, how many people on it. You see that glory of the sun. But the sun is like darkness compared to wisdom. We can't even imagine that. It's above all the orders of the stars. So talking about that precedent is sets. Okay. This is why you have to desire this above all. Being compared with light, she is found before it. All right. Verse 30.
For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom.
We shall not. Okay. Wisdom cannot be defeated. All right. It can never be defeated. All you can do is people just try to talk bad about it, try to pervert it all. That's all they can do. All right. But they can't beat wisdom. Satan can't beat wisdom. Okay. All right. We're in chapter 8, our chapter for the evening. Okay. All right. 2 verses at a time. Like I said, if you got something, please let me know. Don't wait for me because I'm not reset.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty.
So he's going to use these analogies, but we got to understand definitely when we're dealing with, I'll say Solomon, right? When you're dealing with wisdom things and things in the scriptures, you'll see there's a lot of metaphors, a lot of similitudes. You'll see a lot of connections and things that kind of that we can relate to, right? So we can understand. Okay. So we're talking about, that wisdom, it's from one end, it can reach anywhere. There's nowhere that wisdom can't reach. All right. Its dominion is all over. All right. Everything is involved with it. So sweetly doth she order all things. All right. And everything that we see, beloved, we witness wisdom every day. We just don't realize it. Or we don't have the understanding of wisdom to realize it. That sun comes up every day. There ain't no string or something holding around. Don't think of the Greek mythologies and stuff where there's some god that drags, he on his horse and he's dragging the sun and then it drags them. See, that's that crap that these heathens did.
Mm-hmm.
The sun comes up through the power of wisdom. Sun goes down through the power. The moon comes up. They have its phases. The waters don't go upon the earth and flood the whole earth because of wisdom command. All right. The wind blows on wisdom's command. All right. Even though hurricanes, tornadoes, they are being guided. They can't go further than what wisdom allows them to go. It's in everything. The stars coming in everything we see. All right. Wisdom is being displayed. Okay. I loved her. Okay. And sought her out from my youth. Right. I desired her. And he said, I desired her from a youth. All right. Because this is one of the purest forms of love, beloved, when you're in your youth. All right. When you're in your youth, you in love, you don't have all the thoughts of, get older and all the hurt and pain and stuff that came from sometimes toxic and bad relationships, right? When you're young, it's that purest form. Nobody can tell you nothing different when you fall in love, right? When the sisters fall in love with them brothers and the brothers fall in love with that first girl, it wide open, nose wide open. I love her. This is going to be the one, right? So he said, I loved her I sought her out from my youth. This is a young love. I desire to make her my spouse. I desire to marry. I love her, And you see the young lady, I love him. I want to marry him, mom, dad, right? So desiring to make her my spouse. He said, I want her to have the greatest title I can give. All right. I want to marry her. Okay. And I was a lover of her beauty. I desired her so much. Remember, beloved, of course, wisdom have a face and all that stuff, but he's trying to show you the desire that he had towards this. How much he needed. He didn't want this, right? He needed this. So when I wanted to marry, I had to have her. I didn't want to just have her and just something to desire and on a far off. No, I wanted to what? I wanted her to dwell with me. Who do we choose? Then talk about dwelling. Who you want to dwell with? Your spouse, right? Your spouse live with you. I want to wake up every morning, see you. During the day, I want to be able to speak to you. At night, I want to fall asleep with you. This is how bad you got to want wisdom, beloved. See, everybody talk about, when they think about Solomon, Satan got y'all so focused on all the women, the natural women, and yes, there was some stuff that was off, right? But they don't focus on the beginning steps. They don't focus on how did Solomon get this wisdom, right? A lot of us ain't dedicated more to Solomon because we can get wisdom as well. We just don't desire it as much. We desire that natural partner over the wisdom. We desire the riches of this world over the wisdom. We desire certain friendships over the wisdom. We desire certain entertainment over the wisdom. But if you desire wisdom like this, you'll get different results. Okay, and that's with anything, beloved. It's anything. The people that are professionals and the best at what they do, look at the dedication. Don't just think about, wow, they're so good at. You don't see the backstories. You don't see the desire they had, the long nights, the early mornings, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the sacrifices. When you see all that, you'll say, oh, it's understandable how you reach this pinnacle. But you'll see the fans that don't want to do none of that sacrificing, none of that training, none of that. They just sit back, I want this. I want this. I want to be good like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, but I just don't want to do the work. I just want to pick up the basketball occasionally, take a couple of shots when I'm tired, I'm going to sit down. Can't reach it like that. If you want to strive towards mastery, you want to get these things, you have to dedicate yourself. You have to make sacrifices, like the things I named. We are the ones that's making the decision of how much wisdom going to dwell with us. Some of us, we don't want to marry wisdom. We just want to, flirt with wisdom. Right? Running around when it's convenient, and your friends around, you want to show off, that I know wisdom, right? But you don't want to marry. You don't want to make that commitment. But if you don't make a commitment with wisdom, why should she make a commitment with you? But this is this thinking we got in this world now, right? We want to get all the benefits of wisdom, but we don't want the commitment. And we see that even naturally, right? You don't want to commit, but we want the benefits. Wisdom ain't gonna let you you ain't gonna use wisdom like that. No. You're gonna make that commitment. You want all these benefits and the fruits of wisdom, you got to make that commitment. All right. So Solomon said, I desire, make her my spouse. Okay. All right. 3 and 4. Let's keep reading.
In that she is conversant with God, she magnified her nobility. Yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God, and the lover of his works.
So what? She deals with God. She talks to God. All right. The Lord of all things himself loves her. All right. So she's loved and favored. When you love the Most High, you get favor. All right. Wisdom is favor. This is why I got great desire. Everybody want it. All right. She knows the mystery because she converses and talks to God and deal. She what? She understands the things of God because she has a relationship with him. Okay. Don't think carnal, beloved, when I'm saying all this. Hopefully I can see the spiritual aspect behind it. All right. And the lover of his works. She desires the things that God is. She's infatuated with God. Right. So when you're infatuated with something, right, you know all about them. Right. Get those sports people that be infatuated with their teams. Right. They don't know their kid's birthday, but they know their favorite player. They know their birthdays. They know their weight, what school they went to, what year they got drafted, what round, they know all these kind of things because they love this, right? They know a lot of details. So wisdom has the same thing, that infatuation with the Most High. And because wisdom desire the things of the Most High, it got insight, certain insight that a regular person wouldn't be able to achieve and get. So this is why wisdom, once again, should be highly esteemed and highly desired, because to know it, you're going to what? You got to know God, because that's what it all is infatuated with. All right. All right, let's keep going.
If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom, that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that is a more cunning workman than she?
You desire riches, all right? Riches be a possession to be desired in this life. If you desire riches, he said what? What is richer than wisdom? Right? If you desire, there's no sin in desiring riches. You just don't desire over wisdom. But if you really desire riches, what do you got to get, beloved? You're going to need wisdom. All right. And the prudent works. Who all that is of a more cunning workman than she. All right. So if you desire these things, then put wisdom there. Wisdom elevates everything around you that you do. Okay. It adds a blessing on the things you do. So if you really desire these things, get wisdom, and it will what? It will profit whatever you do. No matter what aspect of work you do, wisdom can propel you. So why not get wisdom if it's going to do these things? Okay. So we just, once again, showing you how wisdom is needed. Any aspect, beloved, wisdom is needed. Let's keep going.
Verse 7. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude. which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times.
What is? All right. You love righteousness. You haven't seen wisdom work. If you love righteousness, get some wisdom. See how she worked towards that righteousness, right? Look at what kind of teacher she is. You want to be tempered. You know, people say, I want to be more tempered. I want to be more patient. You know, I don't want to have, I don't want to be angry all the time. I don't want to be. Wisdom can teach you these things, all right? That you know how to deal in certain circumstances. It's not just a book where, okay, well, I know Adam is the first person. I know, don't look at it that way. Some people look at it as historical, and it's like that. But this book teaches you how to your everyday living. All right. How to deal with people, how to deal with your partners. When there's bad situations, how to avoid it. When there's already a big old problem, how to not make it worse. Okay. Wisdom teaches you all these things. It gives you experience. You don't have to go down the wrong road to realize that's the wrong road and all the pain and trials stuff that go around it. Wisdom can say, nope, go this route. I'm telling you what's going to happen if you go that way. Our book does this. Wisdom does this. It teaches this. Okay? A young person can get the experience of an older person, but still remain their youth, right? Because they're learning it. A lot of times they're more knowledgeable. They experience a lot of things, but all the time the experience ain't good. But this wisdom can give you those experiences without the experience actually going through the bad stuff as well. Okay. And sometimes you got to go through it as well, but it teaches you. Okay. So this is why sometimes somebody don't got to be 60-year-old, but you could be young and have the experience of that because wisdom is with you. All right. It's been there. It knows the past, and it also can foretell things of the future. Okay. So it's like, wow, how do you know that was going to come about? Because wisdom has seen it over and over and over again. Okay. And the same thing, we get little experience with it as well, right? Certain things, that don't look like that ain't probably going to work, right? Nah, see, wisdom can give you that. Okay. Other words, you can call it discernment as well. Sometimes you don't have to play it out. You be like, nah, that ain't gonna work out. Like, nah, that ain't gonna work out. What's telling you it? How you know it ain't gonna work out? It didn't even go wrong yet. It ain't. Wisdom, I don't have to wait till it's manifested. Wisdom can tell you what's going to happen, and then sometimes you'll see the manifestation come out later. Okay, but it's all through wisdom. It can give you the subtleties of speeches, right? It can expound, it can give you light, it can bring knowledge to dark sayings, dark sentences. All right. Some things even in the scriptures, you'd be like, I don't know what that is, right? But you pray, you fast, you're talking to God, you come back, and one night you just read like, I know exactly what that said. Wow, how did I know before? I didn't notice. It just came open to me? That's wisdom. And they'll do that a lot. If you read this Bible, I'm talking about sincerity. If you just read this Bible in sincerity, you might not know nothing. First time, second time, like, what the heck? It's still tough. And then there'll be times where you're like, I get it. Because I tell you right now, there's times you can have a great teacher, a great preacher, break things down perfectly, but you be like, there's something I'm just not grabbing from this. It's the spirit that has to open up. It's a spirit of understanding. And people don't realize that. People think they're going to read this and going to force knowledge to come down. They're going to force wisdom to enter into them. I read the Bible 7 times. I know it sounds that way, but that's not how it goes.
Nope.
But people spend their whole life studying it back for, 20 times more than you. And they still don't have half the knowledge of you. Because wisdom has to enter in. So when you deal with Christ, he was talking to disciples. He said, open up their understanding. Do y'all get what happened? There was a block that even though you're getting this information, you can't bring it in. You can't digest it. Christ said, open up their understanding. Now it's like, okay, we got it. Oh, I get what he was saying here. And this is what happened. This is why I said when you're talking to people, it's not all because people want to reject certain things. Sometimes there's a spiritual block. Sometimes you got to pray, Lord, open up their understanding. Because you can break things down all good and dandy, but this is a spiritual book. And sometimes you got to say, Lord, first of all, do you want me talking to them about your word? You know, give me the right words. Give me your words, what you want me to say to them, and then open up their understanding that they may be able to receive it. Okay? You cannot force wisdom to enter into you. I'm going to say it again. You cannot force it to enter into you. Okay? By just reading and doing these kind of things. You have to make sure your heart is right, repenting, and you're asking wisdom. Okay? Please come in. Right? I'm opening the door for you. Come in, sup with me, right? Eat, right? Talk to me, be with me, right? So you have to do that. Okay? So you can't just because I'm reading a million, it's good to read, right? But when we talk about the understanding, that comes from the Most High. Okay? All right.
Verse 9.
Okay. Yep.
Therefore I purpose to take her to me, to live with me, knowing that she would be a consoler of good things and a comfort in cares and grief. For her sake, I shall have estimation among the multitude and honor with the elders, though I be young.
Okay. All right. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna make. He said, I purpose to take her to me to live with me. She gonna be with me. I'm gonna get her, right? You got sometimes you see that as brothers, we see that girl say, oh, I gotta have her. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I want her, right? And that mind, he'll put his mind to it. And he'll put a whole play in his head of how he's going to get her. I'm gonna do this, right? See, we can do it when we want desire something. Sometimes, like I said, people don't desire it like that, right? But when you desire something, you got your mind towards something, right? Even people with education, oh, I gotta get this education. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna study. It's how bad you want it. Okay. But if God open your eyes that like you need to do this and serve him, that's a blessing, beloved, because everybody don't get that chance. So he said, I purpose her to live with me. Knowing that what? She will be a counselor of good things. I know she will speak life into me.
Oh.
I know she would profit me just being around me. I know it will be better. There'll be nothing bad about it.
Oh.
And then what? And comforting cares and grief.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm going through it, she's not going to, when she see me weak, she ain't going to use this opportunity to say, see, you think she's not doing that.
Right.
She's going to comfort me. She's going to strengthen me saying, come on, get up.
That's right.
And I don't care what these guys talking about. They all want that. Everyone got their head halfway screwed on tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You get your nutcases in certain things, but brothers definitely got them will desire that and will want that. Okay? Now, I don't mean there can't be disagreements and things like that. However, at the end of the day, you should know this person is for me. All right? They're looking for my best interest. And sisters the same way. I'm sure y'all can test that as well. You want somebody that I know is there for me. Without a shadow, I know he's there for me. Even in decisions that I don't agree with, right? I know he's thinking about me. And that's the comfort of love, right? I don't mind when somebody's doing something, even when they sometimes make a mistake. But are they making a mistake in sincerity? Are they making the mistake with trying to do what's best? Okay, because sometimes we get upset about somebody making a mistake with certain things. People make mistakes. But how was the mistake made? And what interest was the mistake made? Was it a selfish thing? Right? So this is why wisdom also teaches you. It teaches you how to be empathetic as well. Because sometimes we are the greatest lawyers when it comes to us doing wrong. Right? But when somebody else does wrong, oh, we're the biggest prosecutors. Right? We can't see the good out of anything. We're ready to condemn them. But when we do wrong, we want the justification for ourselves. See, wisdom breaks that kind of stuff. Okay. It exposes our shortcomings. Okay. This is why wisdom is so, so important, beloved. All right. So verse 10 talk about estimation among multitude and honor with the elders, though I be young. So what? Wisdom can put you in certain seats, right? Even though you're young, because a lot of times if you old head see the young boy, like, all right, listen, when you around the old heads, young boys, all right, you shut up. You know what I mean? Definitely if you just allowed to sit next to them, because sometimes old people don't want to deal with young people. All right, go out there and play with somebody your age, right? But sometimes what? They allowed you to sit there. Okay. Oh no, this young brother, he a little advanced for this, right? He's a little mature. All right. So it can bring you honor as well. We have that example even in the scriptures. We read the story with Susanna, that was Daniel, right? Daniel was a young elder at that time, right? But he had favor because of what? His wisdom, his judgment. Okay. So this is what wisdom can do. It can elevate you. All right. You can get certain respect and honor that shouldn't be, I guess age-wise, right? Young, you shouldn't get this kind of honor, right? So you're a little more seasoned, but because you had that wisdom teach you, it puts you on that same pedestal. Okay. But you have to submit to wisdom. Let's keep going.
Verse 11. I should be found of a quick conceit and judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. When I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure, and when I speak, they shall give ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth.
Exactly. All right. So wisdom will give you favor. All right. Just like even talking about the gifts, right? Certain gifts will give you favor among men, right? I think the scripture says gift will make room for you. Okay. So wisdom also, like I said, it will blossom things, right? Even if you have gifts with wisdom mixed with it, it's going to blossom that gift. All right. So it always profit to have it with anything you have. So it will put you even in the sight of great men, esteemed men. All right. It will bring a certain attraction among you. All right. Not a sensual attraction, but some desire. Okay. When I hold my tongue, when I hold my peace, basically. All right. They shall bid my leisure. Okay. So sometimes somebody's quiet, right? You might have a discussion and you see them just quiet, but like they're smarter, they wise, they might have, knowledge of certain things. What you think? See you quiet, like they desire to hear you speak. Okay. So he's saying, I'm gonna hold my tongue, but they're gonna bid me to speak. And when I speak, they should give good ear to me. They're gonna listen to me. Sometimes you'll listen to the person that's just talking all the time, but you listen to that one that, dang, every time they talk, it's like wisdom. It's like counsel. It's like you just know it's right. And you'll get that reverence. Sometimes a fool is known for the multitude of his speaking. Sometimes fools can just talk, right? But that person that's smart, you like, all right, I'm going to listen to this. I can dang near write notes from what they say because their stuff is tried. And we want this reputation, beloved, right? When we open our mouth, it's seasoned with wisdom. It's seasoned with grace. Where people are like, man, when he talk, I just want to hear it because it's always something. It's not them, it's the wisdom speaking. It's the wisdom that was teaching him. So this is how you'll get that favor. And I've seen this done. Okay. So you want to get it to now when you speak, you captivate the audience. The audience is ready to listen to you because you don't use your words just because you have words. All right. Your words are always seasoned. They're always calculated. All right. And they always give wisdom. And then if I talk much, all right, because sometimes you can be on your little rant, right? Even with wisdom, wisdom be using you, right? You start just talking, right? They should lay their hands upon their mouth. I'm just gonna wait and just listen to this because it's good stuff. It's good eating. Keep going. I'm learning. You know what I mean? Now some people are like, I'm sorry, I spoke too much. And people are like, no, keep going, right? Because they're getting fed from that wisdom. All right. And sometimes this is why it talks about when you find like a godly man, right? It talks about kind of going under that person, right? Because they're sprinkling this wisdom and knowledge, right? And you want to be there to to receive that. Okay. Usually a lot of wise people was under wise people or heard or got taught right at the foot of wise people. Paul had what? Gamaliel. All right. The disciples, they learning under Christ. Right? If you want a wisdom, if Solomon's doing his wisdom, if you wise, you're gonna be what? Listen to Solomon. There was another brother during David's time. I'm gonna mess. Is it I think it might start with O, but they said when he spoke, it was like the oracles of God. Right? Y'all can look that up. I believe that's quoted directly. All right. When he spoke, it was like the oracles of God. Even though he gave counsel to Absalom to go against David. However, his wisdom and his counsel was, they said it was like coming from God. Right? He knew this is what I'm gonna tell you about wisdom. And even though he went off, I want you to get the counsel that he gave. He knew that, listen, don't let David get across the water. They was chasing David. And his counsel was, you got to get them now. Don't let them get over there because David had the old heads on. Don't let them get on that side. Get them now while the water's there and everything. Now, David had somebody, basically a spy in there and basically perverted that counsel. He went, got it. It said, the Bible says he got his house in order and, he killed himself, right? But they went against his counsel, immediately lost. This is the kind of authority you could have when you in tune with the wisdom of God. He knew y'all done messed up. All right. That was his counsel was like, and that's what you say when you build that reputation, you're like, yo, it's spot on. Like every time it seemed like life will go just like that. That's how that brother counsel was. So much that he knew. And they didn't listen. Absalom didn't get caught this time. He already knew they going against it. It's over. Okay. So even with us, beloved, we desire the counsel of God, right? And also to be led by the Spirit as well to make sure we submit into that counsel. But we can get that where God can guide us, right? Sometimes we have that opportunity to like, man, this job gonna pay, I get 3 or 4 more times. You know what I mean? Like, look like everything's right there. It's closer, this and that, right? It's like everything to the natural eye. This is perfect. Wisdom might say, nah, don't do that. Do this one over here. But wisdom, this make it more. No, do this one over here. Because wisdom can see 10, 15, 20 years down the road. See, wisdom already going to see when you're going to be crying saying, I should have never did this. I should have went this way. Wisdom try to avoid those things. Okay. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep going now. I'm sorry. Where we at? Verse
13.
All right. Yep.
Moreover, by the means of her, I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me.
All right. So I shall obtain immortality. Yes, if you stick with wisdom, let it dwell with you, you will obtain immortality. All right. If you kick it out, then you lose down that immortality. All right. But long as wisdom dwells with you, you will have it. All right. And I'm just going to go with Solomon in this aspect. When Solomon was ruling, right, David was the war hero, right? He was going out and dropping people in war. You know what I mean? He was a warrior. Solomon using wisdom, but Solomon had what? Peace in his reign. And when doing all that fighting, all that stuff, he was able to do it, and that's one of the best things. People look at the reign like, I want to be like David, where people fear we beat all these people. You lack wisdom. Solomon had peace. A good king want peace, right? Why? Because you care about your people. War, it's a struggle. First of all, we have to, you got to put money towards wars and all that kind of stuff. People going to die, right? You're going to have more widows during war. You're going to have a lot of fathers. It's a lot of stuff that happens with war, but people don't think like that. While Solomon had a glorious kingdom. He had peace with all of them. Even with their wives, everybody looking in the carnal sense like, oh, he was just such a, horny guy. He just wanted to sleep with all the women. Now he could have the desire to sleep with a lot of women, but you have to understand that some things are political as well. Right? So you if you get all caught up, you might not understand. I say sometimes you have to be on the right mind too. when you sometimes you'll make marriages because what? If this is the king, I'm just making a thing. If this is the king of Egypt, right? And like, listen, we're gonna agree not to attack nobody. So now he'll give me his daughter because what? If he decide to change his mind, as men do, they lie. He got to do what? He got to think about. I got your daughter here. If I feel in trouble or anything like that, what do you think? Who do you think will be one of the first one that get killed? Your daughter. And usually a man is not going to sacrifice. A good man would not want to sacrifice or put that his daughter in danger with things like that. So some things are actual making leagues and stuff. So this when you'll see it sometimes in the older movies, you'll see they'll marry somebody else to let now we're strong. Now we know we're going to be, one and plus the offspring and all that kind of stuff as well, right? But when we look at that kingdom, we wanted more to that Solomon because there was a lot of peace. Okay. There was some bad that went on too, but when we talk about the kingdom and everything, he had a peaceful thing. But his dad did set it in order by, taking out their enemies, which is good as well. Okay. Where am I at?
Verse 14.
Oh yes. I should set people in order. Of course, you're going to have order. And this goes in a lot of different aspects, even with the temple, having order, right? With his servants, he put him in order. Remember, his order was so good that what? Queen of Sheba came and said, the half have been told. Your servants look happy. Right? It blows my mind. Everybody thinks of Solomon with this one thing and don't think about all the wisdom and good he had. But this tells you how people think. There's some people that look at your life and just going to pull out the bad, beloved. That's all they're going to see because their mind's perverted. They don't want him to see the good. You should try to look at the good in things before you look at the bad all the time. But however, even with this, he put things in order. We need order, beloved. Without order, without laws, there is chaos. It breeds chaos. Look through history and see when they had no law, no order, and see what kind of civilization it is. See how long it prospered. Okay? So he set the people in order, right? Put things how it's supposed to be. All right? Even in the church, there is order. There is hierarchy. There's things like this. But this helps that the body benefits. When you have proper order, it helps everyone. Everybody benefits. It's not about, well, I'm going to be up here and then try to, oppress the ones under. No, that's heathen stuff. But in our thing, God set up order so that it's functioning well and that it prospers and benefits everyone. All right. And the nation shall be subject unto me. Okay. Once again, he did have that as well. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do hear of me. I shall be found good men among the multitude, and violent in war. After I am come into mine house, I will repose myself with her, for her conversation have no bitterness, and to live with her have no sorrow, but mirth and joy.
They're going to be scared, right? Even when you think of war, I used to play this game where you have to choose like your hero, and it talks about, do you want a war hero or you want a strategist? And some people don't realize the importance. The strategist sometimes is way more important than just being a war hero, right? David was a war hero, right? I don't want to fight one-on-one, but a strategist can take out thousands, right? This is why sometimes lesser kingdoms can overtake a stronger kingdom. How? That's a strategy. Something happened, right? We got more people than we should win, right? But that don't always happen. So Solomon being so wise with certain things, that can bring fear. It's like, man, he ain't a fighter like his dad, but he knows some stuff. It's like, nah, we ain't messing with that, right? And they will submit to them. They're bringing him gifts and things like that, right? He's getting that favor, being cordial with the ones he need to be cordial with, right? Not just starting beefs because I'm the man and I want to show my dom, right? All that is wisdom, beloved. Okay. And then after I come into my house, I will repose myself with her, for her conversation have no bitterness. Y'all hear that? We can talk, we can deal, and there ain't no bitterness happening. I don't feel attacked when I'm talking, right? It's peace. And to live with her have no sorrow. It's just joy. Y'all see what makes somebody happy. And that's the thing, it's fun when you're young, you can, all the your little lust bubbles are about, you know what I mean? But you get older, you about peace now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have a headache. I don't desire to come home to fight. This is what wisdom can teach. That's why both parties should have wisdom. That's what I'm talking about. Who can find this virtuous woman? This virtuous woman had wisdom to move the way she does. And that's why that husband never want to get rid of her. Oh, no. Now, fools have lost some women that were good, right? But a righteous man said, I know there's nobody like her. I can't afford to do this. Okay. All right, Brother Kyle, let's keep going.
Now, when I considered these things in myself and pondered them in my heart, how that to be in line unto wisdom is immortality, and great pleasure it is to have her friendship, and in the works of her hands are infinite riches, and in the exercise of confidence with her, Salakia, conference with her, prudence, and in talking with her, a good report. I went about seeking how to make her to me, for I was a witty child and had a good spirit. Yea, rather, being good, I came into a body undefiled. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except God gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him, and with my whole heart I said.
All right, beloved. So when we look at this, like I said, I just love the detail that he put all into wisdom. But just, how wisdom, and the more important thing is, wisdom is allied or allied with immortality. All right. You want immortality, you need wisdom. Simple. This is why he's saying those that don't have wisdom ain't gonna be a friend of God. You have to have this wisdom. Okay, this wisdom is the spirit. Wisdom is the desire to be better than what you were. It's not the desire to make excuses to justify yourself. Wisdom is patience. It's going to teach you patience. It's going to teach you how to be kind, right? So if you those things, oh my God, I just can't be kind. I always, don't worry. Wisdom can teach it, right? Wisdom might say, you know what? Maybe your flesh is too strong and it have too much of a stronghold. Maybe we need to break that thing down. Maybe we need to fast. Nah, I don't think one day going to do it. Maybe we need another day to add on there. Because you got too much of it. You need to think about, maybe you don't need the strength of, just spewing out things. Maybe you need to be quiet for a while. Because that was a big problem. Sometimes I know one of my things is responding quickly or feeling like I had to respond. Right? Sometimes wisdom is just sit and be quiet. Sometimes people bring stuff to you and they say all this stuff and you just got this. You just got to respond to something. You got to give your 2 cents. Sometimes you don't need to do nothing. Sit and listen to it. Right? Sometimes people bring a situation. Sometimes they don't want you to solve it. Sometimes the solving is just sitting there and being quiet. Y'all ever had somebody talk to you, or maybe you heard it and you see the person kind of be quiet and the person actually start answering it themselves? They like, man, blah, 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 this is happening, blah, 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 and you sitting there being quiet, but you know what, I gotta do better, man. I gotta do this. And they start just answering, give the answers to all their problems. You know what, man, I appreciate talking to you. That was helping. I didn't do nothing, right? That's wisdom. Sometimes comfort don't have to come with words. Sometimes the opening ears, sometimes it's just a hug. Right? So wisdom will teach you all these things and when to apply. That's the beauty thing about it. Sometimes we know these things, certain things, but then also when to apply it. There's a time that you give sweet counsel. There's a time you need to be quiet. There's a time where you need to embrace. Sometimes there's times where you got to be a little rough. Okay? So wisdom will teach you when to apply something, when not to. Okay? So desire, with all this, beloved, desire wisdom. Okay? And I love that verse 21 as well. When I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except God gave her me. That's why you have to understand what wisdom is. I couldn't get it unless God gave her to me. See, people want to get wisdom without going to God. They think they can get this, just read this thing and I'm going to get it. No, God has to give it to you. You're not going to go another way. When you strive for mastery, you must go the right way. You have to strive lawfully. All right. There's a law according to how to get wisdom. It's not what I'm going to force it. God got to do it. I'm going to fast. He's going to have to give me this wisdom. I'm going to be here to say he got no. Okay. But there's laws and rules and guidelines of how to obtain it, how to maintain it. Okay. And that was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was. So now we see that what? You got to get this from God. I prayed unto the Lord. He gives him, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him. And with my whole heart, I said, and they're going to cliffhanger, beloved. We will hear what he says next week, Lord's willing. All right. We will hear it when we get the response in chapter 9. Okay. So, beloved, we will end it there. We will end it there. Lord's week, next Wednesday, we'll be back and hear the prayer, all right, of how this brother got wisdom. Anybody got anything? We good? We good? We good? All right. With that, I will say, Shalom. Shalom.